Hey guys, what's up? This is NonLammers, and today I'm doing a deck profile on my third place Ancient Gear deck. I'll also be going into the side deck for this deck. I know a side deck isn't really a thing I do, but this deck, I took it to locals yesterday, and I got third place with it. Pretty happy with how that went, so I'm just gonna kind of jump straight into the monsters. So, first up is our big guys. Our big guys are, focus, Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon at 1, 3 Ancient Gear Golem, and 2 Gadget Monsters. I'll move those up. 2 Reactor Dragon. I do run Trade-In in the main deck. It didn't come up a lot, but none of these guys really filled up my hand or clogged it. I usually fused with them, if anything. So, yeah. He's also one of the cards I sided out a lot. I sided out Dragon for the most part. Usually, and maybe 1 Golem, but other than that, not really. I have thought about bumping Reactor to 2, but I think more than 2 is a little cloggy. So yeah, I definitely like having the 3 Golems. I like running the trade-in build. So yeah. That's for your 8s, 5/8s, and the 9. I'm actually gonna move the viewfinder a little bit. Moving into the smaller guys, the smaller Ancient Gears. Triple Ancient Gear Wyvern. This guy cannot be ran at less than 3. I ran 2 for a while. Finally got a 3rd copy. I love him at 3. He searches any Ancient Gear card. And then, whenever he attacks, your opponent cannot activate spells and not spells and traps. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects until the end of the damage step. This is Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. A really good card. Is he sleeved upside down? This whole deck sleeved upside down. No, but certain ones are. Shout out to James the Great of Team Northwest Warriors for half sleeving my deck upside down. Great. He burns for 6 whenever he's summoned. He's the polymerization of the deck. And if he attacks, your opponent can activate spells and traps until the end of the damage step. But basically, using Poly, you go into Howitzer with him and burn for 16 just off the bat. 2 box and 2 gadgets. So basically what you do is either Wyvern, Geargiant X, or Iron Wolf, search box, add gadget. It's just a really easy combo, and it gives you materials to fuse into with this guy. I'll show a couple combos. I'll show the big combo in a little bit. That's it for the little Ancient Gears for the level 4s and lower. Then there, of course, the gadget engine to round out the monsters, which is 2 golds, 2 silvers, rank 4 plays, and special summon the Wyvern, search. Whatever they die. You can actually summon Ancient Gear Gadget off these guys, because he is a gadget monster in the deck. I was running Machine Dupe, because what you could do is you could summon him, change his name, and then summon these 2 guys off of Machine Dupe, but I was running it at 2 and it was cloggy, so I took it out. You can put Machine Dupe in if you want, though. It's one of those cards. Yeah, that's it for the monsters. Moving into spells and traps. I run triple GearTown. I was running this last night. So good. I love GearTown at 3. I'm not running any terraforming. I just want to put that out there. No terraforming in this deck. I was seeing this enough. 2 Catapult. I would love to run 3, but I was seeing 2 enough last night. But I definitely would run 3 if I own 3. Basically what this does is it pops your GearTown, and then I think it summons Ignoring Conditions? Yeah, and then it summons any Ancient Gear from the deck, ignoring summoning conditions. So basically, you could potentially get Golem. You're not going to. I'll show combos with these cards in a little bit. Fortress, your opponent cannot respond. When this is on the field, your opponent can't target or kill your Ancient Gear monsters the turn they're summoned with card effects. This saved me against a Lost Wind. My Reactor Dragon, he tried to Lost Wind it. I said, nah. And I popped the Lost Wind off of the Reactor. Your opponent can also not respond to your Ancient Gear effect, so it protects your Ancient Gears from getting striked, which is really good. And to round out the Ancient Gear spells and traps, 2 Workshop puts your Ancient Gears back in your hand, good for recycling. It's actually not that horrible of a spell card. So yeah. Now last night I was running Double Strike in the deck. I just want to put that out there. I have Sense removed the strikes because they do not belong in this deck, but this deck is fairly good even without the strikes. So yeah. Going to the non-ancient gear spells or traps. Triple trade in because I'm running a bunch of level 8s. Double dark hole because it's at 2. Also, I prefer dark hole over like Regeki because then this makes Catapult live. I also feel like I bumped my camera. Those are the only other spells I run at more. For one-ofs, I use a copy of Tribute Burial. This came in... I used this once last night. I saw it once. I usually cited it out. But it was really cool to use last night. One copy of Overload Fusion for Chaos Giant. One copy of Twin Twisters to get rid of back row. Typically, I'm not really... Whenever I play Ancient Gears, I'm not horrified of back row, and I'm not terrified of them blowing up my stuff with like MST and stuff, because a lot of my stuff gets summons. Gives me summons, so it's like, whatever. And lastly, one limiter removal for OTKs. So yeah, I like this lineup. Yeah. That's it for spells. For traps, I only use 2. I use a copy of Solemn Warning, which I did take out last night, and a copy of Solemn Scolding. I won a game off this last night, and it's basically Judgment. So what's really cool about Scolding is, so we'll put that over there. So say you have Scolding set. It says it has to be the only card set you control. So if you have a face-up Fortress on your board, you can still activate your Scolding. You can have Fortress face up and have a set Scolding and then activate Scolding, because it just has to be the only set card you control, which is really cool. That's really great. But yeah, that's it for my spells and traps. I'm sitting on my leg. So for extra, my extra deck is pretty standard, I think, for Ancient Gears. I run the Focus. I run the 3 Howitzer because he burns for 1,000 and is really easy to make. Also, he's unaffected by everything, and if he dies, you get to summon any Ancient Gear out of your deck, ignoring its conditions. 2 Chaos Giant because any more and fills up the extra deck. And 1 Ultimate Golem. This guy I summoned against a hero player. No, it wasn't heroes. I summoned this against Blackwings and won off of it. Because he couldn't Black Sonic me. This I summoned against the hero player. He couldn't stop me. He couldn't do anything about it because he had 2 Ab-Zeros. I summoned this and killed both of them. He was like, that thing can attack twice? I was like, it can attack everything on the field, boy. So yeah, that was really cool. He tried to wipe my board with Ab-Zero, and I was like, can't activate it. So that's really cool. That's it for the fusions, the 3-2-1. I really like that ratio. Xyz monsters. I of course run Heavy Armored Iron Wolf, Heavy Armored Terrain Iron Wolf. Really good. Lets you attack directly. Other monsters can't attack though, but he lets a machine attack directly. He's 2200, so even himself, he takes away like 1/4 of the opponent's life plus a little bit. So he's pretty good. And when he dies, he searches. Just in general, if he dies by card effect. Geargian X searches. Castiel, spin a card back. Here's where it gets a little fun. For my last rank 4, I run Malevolent Sin. I would have a 5th one. That would be Tornado Dragon. I just don't own a Tornado Dragon. But Malevolent Sin banishes, detach and banish for a turn, basically, which is really cool. And then whenever he attacks, he gains 3 ranks and 300 attack, which is kind of cool. For my 8s, I run a Googly Eyes Drum Dragon. I know, not the greatest. I could run Hope Harbinger, but I also run Lancelot. And then I run the Spider package, which is Blop, Ravenous, Bane, 7. So yeah, these 3 could probably come out. At least like 2 of them could. Like these 2 could probably come out if I got stuff I wanted to use. I'd probably keep 7 in there just because I like them. So yeah, that's it for the main and the extra. Let's jump straight into the side deck that I used. So I have a couple different names for the side deck plays that I had. I call this one Bug Infestation, which is Flying Sea, Retaliating Sea, and Max Sea. I call that my Bug Infestation, depending on what I needed. Zoo, I think this was for True Draco, and this was just in general. I always cited in 2. I always cited in Flying in Max or Retaliating in Max. I never cited in just Max. Always cite in 2 for that. For the last of my hand traps, I cited in Veiler and DD Crow. I didn't really get to use either of them. which is fine. I was running 2 copies of Prohibition. I used this against the Blackwing player, and I called out Black Whirlwind. Basically, one off of that. 1 Mistaken Arrest and 2 mistakes. I call that the Make a Mistake combo. I wish I got these against the hero player and the band played on. It stops people from summoning with the same level and rank that they control. Also great for Zoo. And 1 copy of Breakthrough Skill. Yeah, this could probably have been Lost Wind. I just didn't have a copy on me. I had Breakthrough Skill instead. So, but yeah, that's my 3rd place Ancient Gear deck. It won me. I went 2-1 with it. That's pretty. So that was pretty good. It was the best I ever did at a match, at a tourney. So yeah, the deck is super fun to play. I really wanted to play against True Jacos. I have played against True Jacos with this deck. It has done its thing. Can't quake me if you can't quake me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you feel like you want to play this deck, I definitely recommend it. It's one of the funnest decks I've ever played. Yeah. This has been Nod Lammers of Team Northwest Warriors, and this is my 3rd place Ancient Gear profile.